Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Well and loud, sir.
Okay. Namaskar and good evening, everybody. I welcome all of you to this webinar of Philosophy Family. Today, we have with us Dr. Pramod Kumar. He's our admin. He's the architect of Philosophy Family, and he needs no introduction. So we have listened to him and delivering independent talks, and also every week we listen to him having his comments on the discussions that follow after the regular talks. So today he is going to present on the topic zero mind and zero time from the perspective of Bhagavad Gita. It's a new title. It's a new topic. I think it's a different sort of interpretation. What's this zero time and what is this zero mind? Let's see what Professor Das has got to assert to speak on the scheduled topic. Hope this topic would be the topic is the title is very interesting, and I hope that the deliberation that the presentation would be very beautiful. It will be very nice. With these words, I um, um, I request all of the participants to be connected, to stay connected till the end, and participate in the discussions, so that his presentation would become fruitful, and also he will also um, get new insights into what he has developed from the Bhagavad Gita perspective. So hopefully we'll be having a very nice lecture and also very fruitful discussion. So with these words, let us all. I invite Professor Das, and also I invite all the participants to this Sunday evening webinar of Philosophy Family. With these words, let us all move to Professor Das for the lecture, and I hope this session would be very beautiful. With these words, let us move to Professor Das. Namaskar, sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Rao, for your justified introduction. Very briefly, you introduced the event. Esteemed participants, senior professors present here. Today, we have a very beautiful topic. It is beautiful in the sense it comes from my heart and mind. Many times I think what can be spoken, what can be um, deliberated upon newly. So definitely this is a new thought, and I have designed this topic in this way, that from the Bhagavad Gita we shall understand what is zero time and zero mind. In one previous session, we had already discussed different types of time concept. I am just repeating that as the introduction, so that we can um, go to zero time. While speaking, I have to join the new members, those who are joining. Okay. One is clock time. Metaphysically speaking, there is a concept of a timing, that is time is eternal. Nitya, that is time is eternal. This is one concept. We shall not go to that metaphysics. Am I clearly audible, sir? Dr. Rao?
Well and loud, sir. Very clear.
Okay. So here we shall not discuss the metaphysical idea about time. The time is eternal. Second, the clock time. Clock time is the conventional time. that in order to live our practical life, we have designed the clock time. For example, one day is 24 hours, 1 month 30 days, 1 year 365 days. So this is man-made. We have designed, we have divided time according to our convention, and we all follow it. All official programs, social programs follow according to the clock time. Another time is chronological time. That time is event specific. Suppose we experience an event, so there is a starting point and there is an ending point, and we experience the time gap according to the beginning and end of the event. This is according to event process. We understand time concept. This class is 25 minutes. The college hour is 7 hours. A lecturer will remain present for 7 hours in a college. Similarly, the train will start in this time. The train will reach at this time. The flight will fly in a particular time. This is chronological time. We all understand. Clock time and also chronological time. Another time we had discussed, that is psychological time. Psychological time is memory specific. Memory specific means when we experience an event, the event occurs in a particular time, it begins and it ends in a particular time, but we fail to complete our experience. We hang over our own own time set, our own timing. For example, suppose a pleasant event is there. We think that this event should not end, it should continue for a long time. The event has ended in a particular time, but we have not ended our experience. We go on experiencing it. Suppose there is a unpleasant moment. At that time, we feel the time is longer, that it should pass away very soon. It should not continue for a long time. But that does not happen. Everything takes place in a particular time and it ends in a particular time. But we suffer psychologically. According to our mental adjustment, we expect the timing. So that is hangover. So there comes, we have already discussed all these things, but how we suffer from psychological time. Suppose we reach late at the station and we miss the train only because of our psychological time, because we are not so alert about the train timing or flight timing. Therefore, we reach late. We adjust our routine according to our psychological whims. Whimsically, we live our life. Let us go. This way we take our life. Just wait for a minute. We shall reach we become very casual. So there we live in the psychological time. All these things we have discussed. So another concept is there that time is a myth. Why time is a myth? Because it is man-made. If we have calculated one day into 24 hours, then we could have done it in another way. So it is a myth in that sense because it is conventional. It is man-made. But today we are going to discuss about zero time. Here I am going to going to say that our next time is unpredictable. This is my submission. Time is a flow. We are living in the flow of time. But the next time we are going to experience, we are going to live, that is unpredictable. That we cannot predict the next time. Every moment is a momentum. Every moment is a momentum. That means no moment is a void. Momentum means the moment that is filled with some programs. It is full of energy. It is full of, it has a direction to move. It is full of events. So every moment is a momentum. As in Buddhism we know Pratitya Samutpada. That means the origin of everything is dependent on some conditions. This being that arises. Momentariness. Everything exists for a moment. But another thing is said in Buddhism, in that connection, the moment it exists, it has a causal potency to produce the next proceedings. That means the moment is not void. That moment is momentum. In this sense, it has a causal potency to produce the next moment or the next event. But once the next event takes place, the previous moment passes away forever. This is Pratitya Samutpada. Pratitya Samutpada. Every origin is dependent. That means a new moment is dependent on the previous moment, and the new moment is not a void. It is full of events, it is full of activities, and it is creative, it is creative by nature, it is innovative by nature. That means the moment is not a void. The problem is, epistemologically, we do not have any scope to know the next moment. Mathematically, logically, we cannot have a conclusive idea what is going to happen in the next moment. That we may imagine, we may forecast, we may believe, we may hope, we may program, um, but we are not sure what is going to happen in the next moment. So there is an epistemological void, not void, not void in the sense that it is inactive, it is useless. No, that moment is momentum. That moment is full of activities. But epistemologically, it is a void because we do not have any scope to know the next moment conclusively, as we know the mathematics, as we have the conclusion in the logic. Then what happens? Whatever happens in the nature, according to the cause and effect relation, according to the laws of nature, and our programming to respond to that flow, there is a gap. Whatever is happening in the nature, in the series of time, whatever is happening, that is happening according to its own course, according to its own laws, rules, and we also follow that. But the way we follow, the way we respond, that is not exactly the same what is going to happen. Sometimes it matches, sometimes it does not match. When it does not match, we feel Visada, we feel disheartened, we feel sorry, we feel that we feel unhappy because we expected something to take place in the next moment, and we programmed our mind, we programmed our routine, we programmed all other activities in according to that, but it failed. Many times it happens in our life. So this is a philosophical reflection. I don't advise anybody that we should live in this way, that always in the doubtful mind, what is going to happen in the next moment. Therefore, I shall remain inactive. I shall not do anything. No, no. That is not my intention. My intention is that we should we should just think about this fact, whether it happens or not, whether it is true or not. The very moment I am now speaking, it is very much certain because it is very much practical. It is evident. But the next moment, there may be network problem. I may not be visible. I may not be audible, and this program may be postponed. This chance is there. That means we are living by chance. We are living in an uncertain way. This is also said by the in the Greek period. Heraclitus has said that. In European philosophy, David Hume has said that. In Indian philosophy, Buddha has said that there is a only succession of events and succession of event times. We cannot bath twice in the same river. We cannot hold ourselves. So we are only living. Time is fleeting. Time is discrete. Time is separated, and there is no connection in time 1 and time 2. We think that there is a connection. We suppose that there is a connection. We imagine what is going to happen in the next moment, but there is no guarantee. We are living with certain uncertainty. This is my submission, because there is telecast about forecast about weather, that many things we imagine, many plans we do, many designs we do, but we depend upon the nature, that what is going to happen, we just respond to that, we just address that situation. We are so helpless. So this is what exactly the existentialist philosophy. They also say that man is condemned to be free, because what is going to happen, that is not clear. So there is an existential problem in every moment of existence, because I do not know what is going to happen in the next moment. So therefore, I have to be ready to exist according to the next situation. Whatever will come to me, I shall be ready. I shall be mentally ready to address it. In that way, we are all helpless. We are all helpless. That means we live in the present time only. We do not have any access for the next moment. For the next time, we do not have life. For the next time, we may not have life. We may be dead in the next moment. So, with the best belief, with the best hope, we are living our life. And science is also saying that relativity is that only, because everything is subject to revision, everything is subject to correction. No, there is no conclusion in science and philosophy, because everything can be revised. Because we cannot give guarantee about anything for for all the time to come. So the permanent self is rejected according to many philosophers. So the concept of a God is also rejected. Anything permanent, that has been rejected by many philosophers, only because we cannot experience the totality. Immanuel Kant has also said that with the best use of our reason, with the best use of our sense experience, we can know only this phenomenal world. The phenomena, the reality cannot be known by our empirical mode of knowing. By our empirical mode of knowing, we do not have any access about metaphysics. That means our concentration, our focus, our knowledge, our epistemological possibility is only for the present moment. For the next moment, we have speculation, we have imagination, we have a belief, we have a faith, we have this much. But in the present, we are very much certain. So this is my submission. So if there is a time and that is the next time, and if it is unpredictable, but unfortunately or fortunately we are going to leave that moment, then that is our zero time. That is zero metaphysics, that is zero. That does not mean it is it is a void. It is dysfunctional. It has no function. It is inactive. No, it is a momentum. It has its agenda, but we do not know exactly what is that agenda. It comes and we respond. This is the fact of life. Otherwise, we are involved in our imagination. Therefore, many times what happens, what we expect, that does not take place. Many times we meet the unexpected situation that I did not expect that. Why such things took place? Exactly that happened to Arjuna in the battlefield. He was not going there to have his family discussion, to have his family to discuss about his family problem, that I am going to fight with Dronacharya, my teacher. I am going to fight against Bhishma, Pitamaha. I am going to fight with my brothers, my friends, my family members. He knew that before 13 years he had well preparation about this occasion, but at the time of a battle, when everybody is ready to fight, Arjuna became reluctant to fight. Arjuna became confused, because this happens in our life. Everything is ready, but a mishap will take place. Everything is ready to take place, but something will be, there is an accident will come, that we cannot fulfill, we cannot complete that occasion in the desired way, as we expect. So sound is coming. Let me just maintain this. Okay. So many times we cannot meet our agenda according to our expectation. So the entire agenda of a Mahabharata battle, that everybody was ready to fight, but Arjuna failed to address that occasion, and whatever may be the reason, this is zero time that Arjuna failed to respond to the situation. What was expected from Arjuna, that was not fulfilled. It was not expected from Arjuna that he should ask questions, that he should be doubtful, because he was a great warrior and he was with Lord Krishna, and that is a great thing. But in spite of that, he was confused. So why this mishap took place? Because this is very natural. Because we cannot program the future events, and if at all we program, we should not give guarantee that according to our psychological setup, the external world will run according to our psychological setup. No, there is a gap. There is a gap between the natural phenomena and our psychological understanding, our psychological response. As a human being, if we are really rational, we should understand this gap. That my understanding is always independent of the natural phenomena. Whatever is happening in the nature, it has its own course. It has its cause and effect relationship, and whatever comes to me, I have to address it. This is our situation. So we plan many things for tomorrow, but nobody has seen tomorrow. If he will be alive tomorrow, then he can exercise all his agenda set for tomorrow. Otherwise, it is a myth. Our plan for the next moment is a myth. So this is the situation of our life. My point is, if this is the situation, if this is the fate of our life, if this is the destiny, then how should we address that zero moment, zero time? Zero time means the unpredicted time, the time that is unpredictable, that is uncertain, and we have to live with that uncertain moments according to the demand of the situation. Otherwise we shall prove ourselves as unfit. If we do not address the unexpected situation, then we shall prove ourselves as unfit. I planned this way, my plan failed, therefore I could not address the situation. This is a failure. Mind should be programmed in such a way that any situation will come, I am ready to meet it. This should be the human mind. Our mind should be programmed in such a way, whatever situation will come, I shall meet it. Arjuna failed in this scheme. Situation came that this is the time of war. Everybody is ready for battle, but Arjuna was absent-minded. Arjuna felt reluctant, and when we became absent-minded, when we fail to address the next moment, unexpected moment, unpredictable moment, we also give very reasons, very rational reasons. We become philosophers also. Many times we become philosophers. We become religious persons. We give beautiful reasons for our escape. That for such and such reasons, I shall not fight. What is the merit of fight? After all, I shall win over the kingdom. I don't need kingdom. So there are many reasons, and why I am going to fight with my relatives. This is not necessary because many innocent people will die. So many reasons will come to our mind to justify our failure actually when we fail to meet the next moment. So this is, but what was the response of Lord Krishna? Lord Krishna did not even imagine that his best friend and his best student Arjuna will behave in this way. If we are in the place of Lord Krishna, we must be annoyed with Arjuna that you should not behave like this. You should not insult me, taking me as your teacher, as your sakha, as your sarathi. You are insulting me in the field of battle. You should not behave like this. But Lord Krishna did not expect that Arjuna will behave in this way. But because he was a Sthitaprajna, he was with a zero mind. Zero mind means non-occupied mind, non-engaged mind. His mind is always free. That mind was Lord Krishna. So he had no problem with the changing behavior, unexpected behavior of Arjuna. So, any way Arjuna is behaving, that was not a problem for Lord Krishna. Okay, if you have doubt, then your doubt should be clarified. You first learn about the ethics of war. You should know with whom you are going to fight and for what you are going to fight. This is not your family quarrel. You are fighting to establish dharma, to promote dharma. So the promotion of dharma is the cause of this war. And many things you have to understand what is karma yoga, what is jnana yoga, what is bhakti, what is surrender, what is concentration, what is control of mind, what is sthita prajna, what is visada, what is all these things you have to learn. And after learning the ethics of a war, the necessity of a war, the significance of a war, you should fight. So who can have such type of counseling attitude? Only the mind which is not disturbed, which is not agitated, and which is completely zero. Zero in the sense that is theta, that is theta, that is unagitated. So my point is, if the next moment is zero, this next moment is unexpected, the next moment is not known to us, but we have to live in the next moment, then we should not address that next moment with a loaded mind. Please try to understand this sentence. If the next moment is a zero moment, zero in the sense exactly I do not know what is going to happen, but I am ready to address the next moment. Whatever will happen, I shall try my best. I shall try my best. Even we can say that yes, I shall manage it. I may fail to manage, but at least I shall try to manage whatever will come in the next moment. If this is the situation, then who can meet the next moment successfully? To meet the zero moment, to meet the zero time, we do not need a loaded mind, full of thoughts, full of preoccupied thoughts, our likes, dislikes, raga, dvesa, all these things are not necessary, because we should have a zero mind to address the zero time. Otherwise, we shall fail to address the zero time, and either we shall be happy or unhappy. These two things are bad in Bhagavad Gita. If we are happy, it has a reason. That means we are biased, we are occupied. If an event can make me unhappy, then also I am not zero. We are not zero. If there is a cause for our happiness, and if there is a cause for our unhappiness, if there is a cause for our disturbance, if there is a cause for our solace, then we then the mind is not under our control. We are controlled by our desires, our passions, our likes, our dislikes. So that type of a mind cannot address that zero time. If the next moment is zero, zero in the sense it is unpredictable, it is not known to me, and I have to live that next moment, because in that way I have to live the whole life. The whole life is nothing but the sum total of next moments, and next moments. In this way, we have lived 50 years, 60 years, compromising with many. Why should we compromise? We compromise because we have to compromise. Because everything, every event is not under our control. So if we do not compromise, then we cannot go ahead. Sometimes we shall feel insulted. Sometimes, because our expectation will not work many times, we have to face the unexpected situations. So at that time, we have to go ahead, ignoring many things. Many times we have to ignore many things, because the situation, the circumstance is not under our control. Even our life is also at risk at any moment. There may be heart stroke at any moment. I am now speaking, then something may happen to me. So that means it is uncertain. We are living with uncertainties. But what should be our mindset? Our mind should not be loaded with preoccupied thoughts. Our mind should not be engaged with unnecessary imaginations. That is niskama karma. Whenever we are doing a karma, we are loading our mind with many imaginary consequences. This may happen, this may happen. If this will happen, I shall do this. Many things that is good in the sense, because without that orientation, we cannot act properly. But we should not be overloaded by such expectations. Rather, we should have a zero mind to accept that situation, that zero time. We should have a zero mind. Zero mind means the non-occupied mind, the mind which is not engaged. Acha, how can we make our mind zero? That is a stula zero. Stula zero means in a very gross way we can make our mind zero. For example, we can take a rest, we can sleep at night, we should have a sound sleep. So when we decide to have a sound sleep, even sometimes doctors advise to take sleeping medicine. So by that way, if we take rest and we give rest to our mind, then that is also a type of a zero mind, because we are physically we are making our mind zero by sleeping. So sleeping is a very gross level of making our mind zero. But that is not also my point, because everybody is sleeping, and naturally at the when we are sleeping, our mind is taking rest, and that is a very good that so sleeping is advisable. Everybody should have a sound sleep. But that is not spiritual sadhana. Spiritual sadhana is that in the waking state, when I am awake, when I am active, when I am living in this practical world, when I am experiencing the flow of time, I am very much awake. At that time also, I can make my mind zero consciously, deliberately, intentionally, by my self effort, by my purusartha, by my spiritual sadhana. I can make my mind zero even at the waking state. In the sleeping state, everybody can have a zero mind naturally. But we are very much busy. Our mind is always engaged in the waking state. So at that waking state also we can make our mind zero. How it is possible? So here I am saying that mind has two possibilities. Human mind has two possibilities. That mind can be involved in something, and the same mind can withdraw from the desired object. Mind has two possibilities. We can involve our mind in something, and we can withdraw our mind from that desired object. That is called pratyahara. So we can have a sanjoga and we can have a bijoga. So yoga and bijoga both are spiritual sadhana. Only yoga is not spiritual sadhana. We should have the sense of bijoga, that we can withdraw ourselves from the desired object. So this is the technique in everyday life. Whenever we are making our mind involved in anything, take a very small example, very small things in life, not so big that we shall become a sannyasi or we shall become a great yogi so that we can do this. No, anything. Suppose I am reading a book, suppose now I am speaking, this is my involvement, but I shall not speak the whole night. I shall not speaking more than 1 hour or more than 45 minutes. If I shall do that, then it will be boring. So I should have a sense how much I should say, and where should I stop, and where should I take a pause, and where should I should listen to others. The responses, the criticisms, not the appreciations, also the criticisms. Then really I am rational, because I know the double process of mind. If I am getting involved, so that is a starting point, arambhavada. It was not, because it was absent. I was not involved. I started involving myself in something. So this is arambha. So before that, I am I. So if I am going to be involved in something, then that means I am conscious of my involvement. Similarly, I should be conscious all through the process of involvement. Where I am going, where my mind is roaming, how my mind is being involved in a positive way or a negative way. If I observe that my mind is unnecessarily involved in the negative way, then I should break it, I should control it, I should withdraw it. If my job is done, work is done, then my mind should come back to its native place. What happens in our life? Therefore, I spoke about psychological time. What we exercise our psychological involvement. We do not care for the chronological events. We exercise our choice, our likes, our dislike. I like this event, so this event should continue. I dislike this person, so this person should be removed from my sight. In this way, we exercise our mental whims, but we should be very much free, because I am getting involved in something, and I should be very much flexible to to return my mind, to withdraw my mind from that desired object. What happens? We fail to maintain this balance. We are involved means we are involved. Suppose we are arguing. Suppose two people are arguing. Suppose there is an altercation, there is an argument between two persons. If we are conscious that we are arguing and we are involved in an argument, and that argument is going to a very bad situation, then the wise people should stop arguing. Wise people should stop. Fools will go on arguing. So this way, where the best soldier is he who can step back, so that he can get space to go ahead. So sometimes we have to withdraw. Sometimes we have to back. Otherwise, we cannot go ahead. So we should know how much we should argue, how much we should be involved. So what happens? We get involved for a long time, unnecessarily causing stress and distress. That is the stress problem. So stress management is that we should not involve our mind when it is not wanted. If it is there is no necessity, why is my mind is not so cheap, and I am also not so cheap that I shall be engaged with unnecessary things. If there is nothing to gain in a discussion, and there is only argument for the sake of argument, there is no chance for wisdom, then I should not engage myself in that way. I should not involve my mind in that way. So I can involve and I can withdraw my mind from that. And the second way, that is also a problem. Suppose I am withdrawn and then I fail to get involved again. That is also a problem. Many people do that. They think that no, this is the time for withdrawal. My Grahastha Jivan is over. Now Banaprastha came. Now I shall take sannyasa. So I shall not do any duty in society. This is not the proper meaning of sannyasa. Sannyasa is a mental attitude. You should have a sense of a vairagya. You should have a sense of attachment. But that is not inaction. That is not that you should avoid action. Rather, you should do your duties in a better way, in a sense of detachment. So even if you withdraw, you have withdrawn deliberately, consciously for a purpose, so that you can again involve your mind. So neither way we are bound. We are not bound by our involvement, not we are bound by our withdrawal. So if we have such a mind that is flexible for involvement and withdrawal, then where my mind is, that mind is a zero mind. because I have no occupation. My mind is not engaged with the involvement and withdrawal. I am doing it as per the requirement. I am doing it as per Lokasangraha. I am doing it for my self transformation. I am doing it for the self elevation. So, for the practical situation, I am so rational, so conscious that I can have the best exercise, best use of my mind, and that mind is very precious to me. That mind is the only asset, only instrument. By that I can be bound, and by that I can be liberated. So, Tenatektana Bhunjita, that is said in the Upanishad, that means enjoyment is not bad. That you should enjoy the world. You should be involved because the world is there for enjoyment. Otherwise, you cannot do anything. You should not be abstain from your duty that I shall not do any action. No, you should enjoy your life, but with a sense of a detachment, with a sense of a vairagya. That means whenever I am involving my mind in a karma, whenever I am involving my mind in jnana, whenever I am involving my mind in bhakti, I should have a sense that this is for a temporary period and this is for a purpose. If the karma is done, I should take karma sannyasa. So karma yoga is there, karma sannyasa is also there. Suppose we are serving for 60 years. At the age of 60, we have to take retirement. But so far as I am in service, I should be a karma yogi. But at the time of retirement, I should take that retirement happily. I should not have any attachment that I should serve another 2 years or 5 years. No. So that means when karma is not required, when we have to leave our karma, at that moment also our mind should not be unnecessarily involved in karma. If Grayastha period is over, we have to leave that period. We have to relinquish that period, and we should enter into a next platform, next platform, next platform. This should be our attitude. That whenever I am involved, I am a karma yogi. Whenever I am detached, I am a karma sannyasi. Similarly, I should tune my mind, I should control my mind in a such way neither I am involved nor I am completely withdrawn. So this is the zero mind, that is the Sthita Prajna mana. Sthita Prajna means Sthita in Prajna. If I know the wisdom, if I am aware of the truth, if I know the totality, if I know the fact of life, if I know that every moment is zero, if I know the limitation of our knowledge system, that even we cannot have complete knowledge of the next moment, then why should we have ego? Why should we have pride? Why should we have so much attachment? Why should we have krodha, lobo, etc.? We should live a life of detachment. But that does not mean that it is a state of inactivity. That does not mean that it is a state of Nairasyavada, pessimistic situation. No, that is full of activity. That means if my mind is zero, it is full of wisdom, it is full of activity, and it has full of possibilities, that it can act the way I desire, the way I desire, the way I command, the way I monitor. So I shall become the master of my mind. Then only I can become the maker of my destiny. If I shall become the master of my mind, then only I can become the maker of my destiny. Where to I am going. This is my direction. And the ultimate direction is that I need to mix with the Paramatma, the higher consciousness. The lower consciousness will be mingled with the higher consciousness. I am marching towards that. This is the ultimate aim of life. That is the ultimate purusartha. That I have to dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That is the ultimate purusartha. But before that, I have to live a jivana mukta jivan. Jivana mukta. I should live a life of a jivana mukta. That means a free life, a life of a freedom. That I am neither involved ignorantly, unnecessarily, unwantedly, and nor I am withdrawn in a sense of not doing my duty, in the sense of getting sannyasa and living this world of duties. And that, as Arjuna said, that I shall not fight, I shall not fight, I shall not fight. So the entire Bhagavad Gita is a treatise of self-transformation. How we transform day by day from lower consciousness to higher consciousness. I shall not fight, I shall fight. This is there is a big gap between these two statements. Till the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is saying, I shall not fight, I shall not fight, I shall not fight. And at the end, he is saying that I shall fight. So this is self-transformation. Why you should not fight? Because you should fight. Because for that we are here in the battlefield. He will not fight because of his pre-engagement in mind. Because his mind is preoccupied with emotions, with all the pitfalls. Intellectually, emotionally, he has become bankrupt. So he does not have a free zone of mind. So he is biased, he is disturbed, he is confused, he is perturbed, he is not free. He does not know what is karma yoga. He does know he knows about karma, but he does not know about karma yoga. He does not know about karma sannyasa. So that means very simply I am saying that we have a very precious instrument with us, that is our mind. We are getting education from universities, and we are having degrees, and we are accumulating money, wealth, and we are very much, we have a hunger for self recognition in society. We are sending our children to foreign countries for better education, and we are living a very in a very isolated society where even parents and children do not live together. This is what we say, that we have achieved many things. But one thing we have failed to achieve, that is the equanimity of our mind. We have everything, but we have a precious mind which is not equipoised. We have a very imbalanced mind. So what is the threat of the present times existence? That is stress. That is stress. That we are always in a stressful mind. Our mind is not free. So I have this thought came to my mind for some days, that how poor we are, that even we claim ourselves as men of wisdom, we claim ourselves as great philosophers, great scientists, great professors, but we are helpless, that even we do not know the next moment. We do not know the next moment. So there is a gap between the capacity of having a zero mind, living in a zero time, and there is a possibility of not having this. So there are two types of minds. Arjuna and Lord Krishna, they are symbolic. Actually, they are in philosophically. If we discuss, we should not discuss Bhagavad Gita as the mythological figures. That Lord Krishna is a mythological figure and Arjuna is a mythological figure. They are symbolic. Lord Krishna is a symbol of a zero mind, or a mind of a Sthitaprajna, and Arjuna is a symbol of a preoccupied mind, a mind of a preoccupied thoughts, the agitated mind, the disturbed mind. Only these two minds we have, and with all of us, we have these two minds. There is a mind within me, that is Arjuna, and there is a higher mind within me, that is Lord Krishna. and there is a debate between these two minds all the time. So the lower mind says that I shall be involved in different types of emotions, raga and dvesa emotions. And the higher mind is saying that I shall be guided by intellect. Even intellect also binds us because it is the dialectical by nature. It invites reasons for the dialectics, this or that. And beyond that, there is a supramental consciousness where we transcend the dialectics and we find the unison, we find the unity beyond among all the diversities. So we are marching towards that. That is the ultimate goal of our life. So, okay, this much I am saying, and in the time of discussion, I shall try to answer the questions. Dr. Rao, Dr. Rao, are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Um, Pramod sir, for uh, a very beautiful lecture, nicely oriented from the perspective of Bhagavad Gita and also from the perspective of life. This is what we do see in life, the problems that we face in life. Dr. Das has tried to see life in a in a very nice manner. Philosophically, he tried to address the issues that we come across. The modern man comes across, finding himself occupied with the psychological mind, not getting free from it. So it's a beautiful orientation of the time and how mind addresses to the varying dimensions of mind. So it's a beautifully coordinated lecture. Well, I'll have my thoughts later. Well, to start with, may I invite Professor Dr. Ranjit Ghosh sir to start with. Well, Dr. Ghosh is there. Sir, namaskar, sir, please. Dr. Ranjit Ghosh sir. Is he there? Yes, he is there. Okay. Well, I think Dr. Ghosh is not ready. So we have with us even
Dr.
Avinash.
Rao,
Yes, sir.
thank you. You please ask others. I'll later
Yes,
on
sir.
I'll join.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, maybe Dr. Ghosh is busy with some work. Well, will be. Let me invite Professor Avinash Srivastav sir to have his observations.
Thank you, sir. And it was really a nice lecture, very informative, and he has taken much of pain in creating such ideas. Sir, I want to say, you're talking about the time. Time is a threefold present. They are neither past nor future, it is only present. Past is our memory, present is the present experience, past is our present memory, present is our present experience, and future is our present expectation. And when we get involved in the dichotomy of past and future, the problem arises. And this is the reason the Arjun was bewildered how to do, what to do, and what not to do. That's why he says, Karpanya dose nihat prahayang, pikshamitvang dharma sammudha cheta. And in answer to that, Krishna categorically says, Ashochan vashochastvang pragyavadaschang bhasase gatasunang gatasuschang nanu sochanti pandita. The very same thing what I spoke, he has analyzed in a different way. He says in the same way. He says, you are living in the present, but with the expectation of the future, you are thinking that the future is very dark if I do like that. As well as you are remaining in the past. When you say, these are my relatives and how these things have come, but you are thinking in the present. The time is to be in present. And when you be in present, then and then you can do the nice work. And for that he has said sthit praggas. Arjuna asks, sthit praggasya ka bhasa samadhistasya keshava sthidhe kim prabhaseta kimaseta brajet kim. Then he categorically says, if you are in present, dukhe shunu dugmana, sukhesu vigata spriha, vitaraga. Mind it, vitaraga, bhayam krodha, sthidhirmaniruchyate. Unless and until you are not sweet with all the ragas of the life, bhayas of the life, then you cannot be in present. Then either you will be in the past or you will be in the future. And though you are experiencing all these things in the present, then how to achieve this goal? Very nicely Krishna has said. He says, Yoga karma sukosha. If you do your work in the present with full insight and full endeavor, what will happen? Neither you will think of the past nor of the future, but only the present. And in that time, what is going to be occur? That is the zero mind, that is the present mind, and present mind only. Buddha has said for that kriya chitta. What you do, you are in present and see what I am doing. Because the moment you start doing anything, you think about the past and think about the future, and then you try to model the things in a different way. This is not going to help you. Because unless and until you are in present, unswayed by the past and the future, then and then only, he says, Yoga karma shukosalam. The kushal karma comes. This is the yoga, and how it comes when you are in present and think about those of work also. Very nice presentation, sir. Thank you very much for your detailed elaboration. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Srivastav, sir, for your understanding of Dr. Das, and very nicely you have pointed out the issue. Well, we have with us KC Patnaik, sir, from Chinmaya Mission. So I request Patnaik, sir, to have his observations and suggestions and queries. Patnaik, sir. KC Patnaik, sir. Sir, namaskar, sir. Welcome, sir. Please. KC Patnaik, sir. KC Patnaik, sir. Well, I'll wait for a few seconds. Okay. Well, I don't see him unmuting. Well, maybe busy in some work. Well, I'll come back to you, sir. Okay. We have with us even Radhanath Behra, sir. Please, sir. Your observations. Namaskar, sir. Radhanath Behra, sir.
Namaskar, Dr. Rao, Dr. Das, for the beautiful and illuminated lecture on the efficacy and relevance of Gita in our hectic day-to-day life. As a student of mathematics, I am reminded of a simple incident given by the Greek philosopher. He says, an arrow in flight is at rest. Mark the word. Arrow in flight is at rest. It appears to be contradictory. In motion, there can be no rest, but he observes that it is true. How? The reason is because an arrow flies over my head, it is over my head at the present instant. Next moment, it is flying over the head of another person. So he observes that it is there. Means it is, I am able to communicate with the arrow just flying or just stagnating over my mind, over my head. So this way, if there are series of people, each sees the arrow at an appropriate moment of time. Therefore, the conclusion is that even if it is in flight, it is at rest. It is not escaping our head. It is flies over the head of a numerous people. So, if you think of that way, so what is time then? Time is not stagnant. It is in a state of flux. It moves from the infinite past to the infinite future, passing through every moment of our present time. So, this way we can analyze the situation of time, or we can say it is sort of arrow of time, motion of time, moving from eternity to eternity, from the infinite past to the infinite unknown unseen future. Now, as Professor Das said, mind should not be occupied with the result of our action. Niskama karma, as Gita very often deals with it. Swami Vivekananda also said, mind should not be occupied with the result of our action. The whole of Gita can be prapadyate Ksudram Hridaya Durbalyam Tyakto Tishcha Paramatapaha. That means even if you are a warrior, you are not up to the standard of a warrior, you are not doing your duty. Duty may be anything because to a Kshatriya it has to be a servant or a
Sir, your voice is not coming. Oh, wait, I think he has the connectivity is
tribe of
lost.
this Maya. Hello, how are you? It is unbecoming of you as a warrior to avoid this responsibility and to be tribe of Masmanama Partha. You have become a sort of neuter, inactive. It is unbecoming of a Kshatriya. Therefore, go, take up your bow and fight. And all the time, Lord Krishna was at the background, speaking to him that Maya Hatva, they are all slain by me. You only pretend to be killing them. They are all dead. So if this is the fate of Arjuna, who, who was bewildered only because he had no sense of his identity. He was the what to say, a servant or a disciple or a sort of weak personality to be guarded by Lord Krishna himself. So what is required now is make your mind empty, free from desire. The desire for the fruit of our all our actions. Is it possible? If it is not possible, think of the means to do it. Mind, as Professor Das also was hinting, that mind is its own place. It can make hell of heaven and heaven of hell. So therefore, let us not dwell too much over our mind, too much be occupied with our fruits of action. Do it as it is behold of us. Only then we can say that we have conquered time. Time cannot be conquered because it has its own flux. It has only its regulated motion. But what is to be done is not to bother about the future fruit, future result. It is either convenient to be us or inconvenient. But what is to be done is leave it, as Lord said, Jatha ichhasi tatha kuru. I have given you everything, past, present, and future. But I have given you a keen insight, and I'm in your background. Still, I will not interfere with your thought process. Jatha ichhasi tatha kuru. Do whatever you like and deem it to be fit. And Arjuna came to his own self and says, Lord, how can I transcend the factor of the fruit of my action? It is all ordained. I am just nimitta matra bhava sabhyasati. Be just a sort of symbol. Everything is already done, already charted, already regulated, and therefore forget the present moment, and your inaction only speaks ill of you. Overcome it. Do not grieve that you are slaying your kith and kin because they are unrighteous people. They are to be slain only by a Kshatriya like you. Thank you very much. I'm enlightened with the ideas of Gita as Professor Das presented it in his beautiful lecture lasting about 45 minutes. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Behera, sir. Well, let us move to Dr. Ghosh now. He is available, I think. Then we'll move to Sasibhushan Rath, sir. Um, well, Dr. Ghosh is there. Then we'll move to Sasibhushan Rath, sir. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Rao. I was very much keen to attend this lecture since the title was so very captivating. So, I first of all thought that I cannot say I have no mind or no time to hear about zero mind or zero time. So, what Dr. Das has given in a 3-4 sentence, I have gathered is this. He said that zero time means unpredicted time, and zero mind is non-occupied mind. And finally, what he said that we should have zero mind to address zero time. Okay. So, and lastly, he has summarized that a sthita pragya mind is above time. So it can transcend itself. The Sthita Pragya can transcend the boundaries, all the boundaries. And Professor Srivastava has also mentioned about these slokas and this thing. So it is, so in this way, I think if we take it in the Gita's perspective, then what Dr. Das has deliberated, absolutely there is nothing to question on it, and I fully subscribe to his view. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, thank you, Dr. Ghosh, for your observation and your attestation to Dr. Das's view. Thank you so much. Well, we have with us Sasibhushan Rath, sir. Then we'll move to KC Patnaik, sir. Sasibhushan Rath, sir. Sir, namaskar, please.
Thank you, Mr. Rao. And I have been deeply engrossed while hearing Professor Das. And I have been a student of physics all through my life, but still continue to have passion for philosophy. And I could understand many things which possibly I couldn't touch. One of them is about the uncertainty, unpredictability of time. In fact, I got linked up with Erwin Schrödinger, who gave and Heisenberg, Werner Heisenberg, who gave the concept of unbestimmtheit, that is uncertainty in physics. The essence of that is that the position and the condition cannot be defined precisely because it is in a flux. Things are moving always. And very interestingly, Professor Das has explained the zero mind and the zero time. Unless we practice zero mind, it is very difficult to understand or address the zero time. And I have felt enlightened. In fact, I was the first person to join this webinar because I was very much attracted towards the topic, and I was sure that Professor Das will speak his mind because the topic has been very close to his heart. He has been an eloquent speaker and a thinker himself, and whenever I get any opportunity, I listen to him. And today's webinar will remain something to remember all through my life. And as I'm associated also with the Zen Buddhist Center at Bhubaneswar, I knew something late about Samutpada and Pratit Samutpada, which Professor Das could make my ambiguities very clear in my mind. I express my gratitude to him. I wish I could have become a student of Professor Das, but somehow or other I was born earlier to him and it could not happen. But age is not a factor, and I consider myself as a learner before his erudite knowledge. And we are living by chance is a very profound statement he gave. We are always living by chance, and there is no connection between T1 and T2. It's so true, and existentially something that hurts us, that touches us all the time. I wonder whether it is an invisible arrow of nature that instigates the minds of the human being. It instigates the minds of human beings. And interestingly, about Prarambha and Purnacheda, the beginning and the end, it is very difficult that he hinted that in experiential line of existence, it is very difficult to define the end of experience. Its locus continues indefinitely and enters into different aspects of existence and reality. This is what I feel personally. However, the whole talk of 45 minutes is very useful for me personally as a listener, and I have noted down a few points for my future reference. I express my thanks to Professor Das. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. S.B. Rassar, Sasibasan Rassar, for your connecting Dr. Das' position from the Bhagavad Gita perspective with the modern physics, the uncertainty principle of Heisenberg, where everything is uncertain in the microscopic world. Even Dr. Das is speaking that everything is uncertain even in the macroscopic world, to add to it, because even in the macroscopic world, even though there are many definiteness in the act of nature, but when it comes to the human mind and the human access to the natural world, nothing is certain, because even though there is a flow, even though there is some conditionality attached to the flow, but still we cannot attest and go on with that conditionality, because anything may happen. Like the way there is uncertainty in the microscopic world, that uncertainty do come to play even in the macroscopic world that we live, because of the fineness of the mind, which is more or less microscopic, and that's why it cannot fit it to a sure sort format, a sort of certainty, in the real access to life. So in T2, as you rightly pointed out, there is uncertainty, and those who understand that uncertainty, they do face the next moment. They do face life in a better way. Otherwise, nothing can. Many things remain in a problematic situation. So thank you so much, sir. And one more thing that Professor Rath sir has pointed out, that and it has a reference to what Dr. Das has said, that we all live in the psychological time. That's the problem. That's the problem where we do not put an end to an event, because the event has ended, but it has not ended in our psychological time. It continues, and that keeps us disturbing. Because as even Professor Srivastav sir said, that the present is more important, but we are much better about the past and also the future. Because of this, the influence of the psychological time, that is dangerous. So in order to address to the zero time, there is a need to come out of the psychological time. There is a need to be with the physical time, because the physical time you cannot change, but the psychological time can expand. The psychological time can contract even, because when the event is disturbing, you want to reduce the time to come to a mind. So the psychological time is disturbing. A control over the psychological time will help one to land into the zero time. So what is important from that is to be learned from the talk of Dr. Das is to exercise a control over the psychological time. If you are able to address to the psychological time, if you are able to control the psychological time, then only we can address to the zero time. Otherwise, things will look problematic. So let's move to now KC Patnaik, sir. I think he is available now. KC Patnaik, sir, please. I see his hand raised, but
First of all,
yes, sir, namaskar, sir,
am I
please.
audible?
Sir, audible, sir.
Am I audible?
Audible, sir. Audible, sir. Please, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First of all, I thank Dr. Das for giving this enlightening talk about time. These people don't understand what is time, and we are living in time, and we are the victims of time, and we have to understand what time is to reach zero time. Because if you reach zero time, then you are free from all the anxieties, problems, everything. So, and Swami Pirmananda has defined that time is the gap between two events. Between two events. So, but Dr. Das has so clearly explained how to reach zero time and what is zero time, what is psychological time, what is chronological time. Uh, and these things we can't understand from the book. He has very, very nicely commented and analyzed. So I have nothing to add, but I am thankful for giving me the opportunity to listen to him. And thank you, Dr. Das. I wish I could meet you and understand more clearly the concept of time, because it is the most important thing in life. Okay, then let us hear the other opinion and enlighten myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patnaik, sir. Now let us move to Joseph, sir. George Joseph, sir, he's there with us. He has raised his hand. May I invite Dr. George Joseph, sir, to have his observations and his questions? Because what is important is people are commenting but not raising an issue. It is only then we can move further, we can move on, so that we can learn. So it is not just observations; it is even raising a question that is important. So let us move to George Joseph, sir.
Good evening, sir. Congratulations, Professor Pramod Das, for presenting an excellent theme comparing zero time with the enlightenment of Buddhism, then existentialist being present and in the world, and also coming to the Bhagavad Gita concept of Sthita Prajna. and while listening, it was actually the concept of zero time was and zero mind was something new, and in a way, a new way of looking at philosophically looking at Bhagavad Gita was interesting. For me, initial comment that like epistemologically it is not possible to know the next moment. I felt maybe I think the positions Buddhist existentialists and even Siddha Prajna, zero time, may not be able to accept because in a way the enlightened one is actually aware of, or even the others, they are advising us to know the present condition, recondition it, and make a better future. For example, if you put it in existentialist term, being in the present and in the world, we are worldly and bodily, and we are temporal too, and therefore our duty is to create. For example, Sartre would place man makes himself, or we are the people who makes our history. And the great persons like Sri Krishna is asking us to know the future and create it. It's not a false world or an unknown world we are going to create. Or if in terms of liberation or in terms of nirvana, if we think of, we have to be aware of the future, and then only the present would become meaningful. From karma theory perspective also, if we put it, our task is to recondition, or not to fall into the conditions of the today, but to recondition it or transform our conditions and make the future, not an unknown future. This is the way, if we don't look, I think our perspective of Bhagavad Gita may fall back into very religious alone. But it has got a wide worldly application, or a task that form our character. In all those things, it has got a realm. And for that, I think we should be conscious of, and we should understand our conscious and then move. It is regarding the people who are in the zero moment. Even for the fleeting moment too, they should live with a kind of a prediction towards the future. If it is totally and kind of unpredicted world, I think our advice or our encouragement, motivation, everything, I think become in a way a kind of useless, or a kind of what's called a leap into darkness. And that way, I think that predictability, certainty of life, all those things, I think in all these references you have given is there. This is my perspective. I think, sorry if you have got a different way of looking. Definitely, you have got a different way of looking at it, and you can, I think, explain it further. Thank you, sir.
Should I respond?
Dr. Das, internet connectivity was lost. I could not listen to what Dr. Joseph has said, but please respond to him, sir.
Should
Please
I
respond to
respond?
Dr. Joseph. I
Yes,
could not
yes,
listen to
yes.
what he has said. Respond.
Oh, okay. Dr. Joseph asked 3 questions. What I had expected from the audience. He is saying that a layman cannot predict the future, but a Sthitaragya can predict. This is his first position. Second position, he is claiming that we should move our life with a prediction. Otherwise, there will be no motivation. And third thing, he is saying that it will dismotivate the young mass or learners to do something in life. I have already addressed all these questions in my talk. I am repeating. Arjuna was also very much worried about time. Repeatedly he is asking that I shall not kill. I shall not kill. here is a time reference. That means he will kill in future in the course of a fighting. Therefore, Lord Krishna, as he is Stitaprajna, he showed the Vishwarupa Darshana that you are not going to kill, they are already killed. They are already killed. Here it is past. It is already done. Match is over. Match has been fixed. And those who are supposed to be killed, they are killed. And you think that you will kill. So here what happens, there is no problem in predicting the future because we have to live with that prediction, otherwise that is suicidal. We are making plans for future. My point is, suppose your plan fails, then how can you address? People commit suicide for this. There is frustration for this. There is stress for this. Plan goes well, very well. A lover and beloved, they plan to marry. There is pre-shooting, pre-wedding shootings. They are flying in the air, sleeping in the through the ice, and they are telecasting in the Facebook. And after 1 year, they are going for divorce. My point is, don't be so much excited about your prediction. Don't expect too much beyond your karma. If you are doing karma, rather motivate people for your karma in the present. At the cost of a present karma, we should not be so much worried about the future. That was the case of Arjuna. Therefore, he could not fight. He could not fight only for the future tension that I am going to kill my relatives. Lord Krishna is saying, whether you will kill or they will kill you, how did you know? About the future, it is uncertain. You do not know. You are just predicting. And prediction is good so far as it does not disturb your flow of action. If your prediction disturbing you, then that prediction is detrimental for your future perspective. Therefore, he showed the Vishwarupa Darshana. You see the total vision, that this is the totality. Then the question comes, if Arjuna could predict the future, could show the Vishwarupa Darshana, then Arjuna is Lord Krishna could show the Vishwarupa Darshana and could have that vision, then Lord Krishna is the person who can predict the future. This is the implication. No. Lord Krishna is also saying that what will happen tomorrow, I do not know. As a karma yogi, I do not know. But I have knowledge of this much that I can show you the Vishwarupa. But if I think myself as a karma yogi, I shall never predict the consequence. Therefore, Lord Krishna is speaking about niskama karma. I have that knowledge of totality, but if I shall go for a karma, I shall behave like a karma yogi. I shall not be worried about the consequence. So ignorance many times helps us. If we actually know the consequence of our action, that I am going to die tomorrow, then I shall not live today. Their ignorance is very much helpful. So we shall go with the reality that the present moment is at my hands. I am the master. I am the owner of this present moment. I shall have the best utilization of this present moment. I should not miss it at the cost of my past memories and the future unnecessary expectations. I am telling that. You should have orientation in life. You should have planning in life, but you should not take those to your head. That overconfident, you should not be overconfident. So that is the real motivation, and that is the real threat in the present day life. We have become overexcited, overconfident about the future, and we commit suicide. We go for frustration. Therefore, if at all we are happy, we should check ourselves that this happiness will not last for a long time. Everything shall pass away. Even this shall pass away. Even this shall pass away. We should have this attitude. So here when I am saying, suppose Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, do you think that Jagat is really Mithya? No. Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya is a mindset. We should live in the Jagat, but we should have a mindset that Jagat is Mithya, because ultimately it is false. So from the higher point, it is meaningless. Time is a myth in that sense. In whatever scientific knowledge you have, I told that unpredictable means you can't have a scientific knowledge, mathematical knowledge about the next moment. You have to address that moment as it comes. If you fail to address, you are a failure. This is our life. Suppose, very simple example, we all expect that after the marriage of our son, the daughter in law and the son both will give us equal respect, very cordial respect. No, don't expect this much. Don't expect. Always be ready for the unexpected situation. If they respect, well. If they do not respect, well. I am independent of all types of emotions that I expect from others, because I don't have control over others. I don't have control over the circumstance. Number one. Number two, regarding Sasibusan sir's point, I appreciate. Not only the time, the next moment is unpredictable. The next time in the line of physics, I am saying the velocity also varies. The next moment, suppose I am imagining in one way, suppose in a negative way I am imagining that tomorrow morning something bad is going to happen because I have committed a mistake. But its velocity will be something different, because it will get a time for timing. It's because the tomorrow morning will come after a gap. So many circumstances may change. So if a person who is going to commit suicide, he will stop committing suicide. He may not do that in the whole life, because time, the next moment, it is not only functional, it is increasing in velocity. Something miracle may happen in the next moment. So that is very appreciable. The next moment is very appreciable, very optimistic next moment. So who can enjoy this optimistic flavor? Only who has a zero mind, preoccupied mind. Here comes bhakti, here comes surrender. If the next moment I don't know, knowing and predicting are different. If I do not know the next moment, only surrender. Next moment will come to me, I don't know what will happen. So whatever will happen, it will the gift of God. I shall address it as a karma yogi, as a man of wisdom, as a bhakta. I shall address it. Here comes love, here comes commitment, here comes shraddha. So this is not a negative approach. We generally we live in the flow of time as the river flows. Just wait, ask yourself, is the next moment real, true, as you think it is going to happen? No, no. Even science does not accept this. No science, nobody can give guarantee that tomorrow morning sun will rise, tomorrow morning I shall live. But we have to live. We should have, and that person can live, can address that the tomorrow situation or tomorrow morning situation with a calm of mind, with a peaceful mind, if he is completely free from any type of engagement. This is my submission. Let us think about it. It is not an advice for those youth, those people who cannot understand this. No, it's not advisable. They are living their life very comfortably. Let them do. This is my submission. So it is also time concept. Arjuna was disturbed in the Bhagavad Gita. I shall kill. Lord Krishna is saying they are already killed. So why you are worried about future? Do your karma. Your consequences will follow your action. So if you think about consequences too much, then you are disturbing the flow of your karma. Don't do that. Be a karma yogi. And bhakti comes from that. If we surrender for the next moment, that whatever will come, that will be the prasad. I shall accept it. Because the very life is also a prasad. It is a gift of a divine. It is given to me. All the moments I have lived 53 years, it is a gift of the divine. So the next morning will be a very best morning. I shall live next morning. This mindset will make us happy. This mindset will give us peace. This mindset will give us a state of a compromising mood, that I am comfortable with any situation, any person, that even your enemy will become your friend if you will have this mindset. Why you are my enemy? You are not my enemy. You are my friend. We have to cultivate this attitude. This is my submission. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Das. Well, what Dr. Das is saying is, his thesis is that a zero time presupposes a zero mind. And what is that zero mind? It's a mind of a sthita prajna, a equipoised mind, a balanced mind. But since we do not have a balanced mind, because we are much guided by the psychological time, we are not able to address to the zero time. Who can address to the zero time? Okay, those who are balanced. But because we are conditioned to something, because we are in a certain fixed format, thinking that this will happen, this has to happen, that means we are thinking of things in a fixed format, we bring into us certain psychological problems. That is the submission that Dr. Das is saying, that in order to be free from anxieties, free from the problems involving fear and all that, you need to be free from the fixedness of the coming event. Don't think that the coming event is a fixed event. Even though something bad has happened now, don't think that the bad is going to happen the next moment. Even though something good you have done, don't expect something good is going to happen the next time. The next moment is not sure. Okay, so that is the thing he's saying. And he's saying is that why we think of we are attached to the next moment, because the mind is moving in the flow and it is involving itself in the event, and it is not coming back to its original state, the zero state. If the mind comes back to its original state, then it can address to the zero time. This is the entire thesis that is happening. That is what I understood. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, we have with us Dr. Reena Puradkar. If she has any issues, any problem, well, I request her to. Dr. Reena Puradkar, I see her after a long time listening to the entire talk. Any issue, any problem, anything to say, sir? Madam, please wait for half a minute. I'll wait for half a minute. Well, or anybody other who has any issue, any concern? Rudra had a question to ask. Yes, anything written? Because I had my internet lost. Now, one thing, sir, before somebody comes, I have a problem. Why we are not able to manage the psychological time? Because you have a reference to the psychological time, because the event, as you said, the event has ended up, but we have not ended up, because our connectivity, the event has not lost. And you suggest that we should be free from the psychological time. We should be free from the memory element, because something may be disturbing or something may be a happy moment in the past, the event has ended, but we are not ending up. Because we are not ending up, even Dr. Rath also pointed out, because we are not able to end up the moment, we come up with certain distortions, certain problems, anxieties, fears, and maybe many things, and ultimately resulting putting us into an unbalanced situation, which is not called for. Overthinking, it is also bringing in a sort of overthinking, and also finally resulting some sort of stress. So the problem all around is not reaching to the zero time, is the psychological time. That is the main force for most of us or nearly all of us. Only few people could attain to the zero time. Not all can attain to that zero time because of this, the overwhelming force of the psychological time, and that is dangerous. Those who could manage the psychological time can really enter into what is called as the zero time. So they can be with new possibilities. They can think of any possibility and they accept any possibility that is going to come the next moment. And the people who are with the psychological time, they cannot accept the change, which is actually not the true format of nature, because anything may happen with any possibilities. So that is the thing. So managing the psychological time is important. I request Dr. Das, from his knowledge,
Yes,
how to
yes, yes. Very
overcome the
good question.
psychological
Very,
time.
very good question. Very good question. We suffer from psychological time only because of our attachment with the event. Okay. Event is taking place. Suppose you have gone to a marriage ceremony. Suppose you have gone to any university to deliver a talk. Every event has a timing. Every event has an agenda. You have to involve in that event at a particular time, and you have to withdraw from that event at a particular time so that you can catch your flight. Otherwise, you will miss your flight. But you should not hang over by any event. Suppose you go with your wife in a very romantic tour. That there also you should have that sense of withdrawal. Yes, I have so many assignments in college after I return. So our attachment with the event is the problem. In Bhagavad Gita, it is called raga and dvesa. These two are the enemies of the wise men. Therefore, when Professor Joseph said that only Sthitapagya people can predict, no. Even in Bhagavad Gita, it is said wise people also suffer from raga and dvesa, a sense of aversion and sense of attachment. Mind should be free from my likes and dislikes. I am taking this event as an event. I like this event, therefore this event should continue. I dislike this event, therefore immediately this event should stop. Otherwise, I shall leave this place. I shall not stay with all of you because I don't like this. No. Let the event pass in its own way. I am a neutral person. I have a zero mind. I have some assignment to speak. As a speaker, I shall speak. I am also responsible for the comments, the criticisms, the questions, and I shall do that as my duty. So I shall take an action in the sense of duty, nothing else. And the duty is done, the work is done, my duty is over. I should be free from that so that I can involve in another duty, the next duty, next time, next duty, next time, next duty, and at any moment I may die, I don't know. So, in the uncertain flow of time, I am just doing my duties without the sense of Katurta Bhava, agency, without overthinking about my consequence. I am simply attending my duty. I did my duty as a student in Brahmacharya. I did my duty as a husband and father in Grahastha. I did my duty as a social worker in Banaprastha, and I am doing also all social welfare works in Sannyasa. At least I nurture my mind towards that. That is my duty. And at any moment, I may die. That means the entire 53 years is a gift for me. We should take life in this way. So don't be attached with the event that is given to you, and don't have a sense of displeasure, disheartened. Don't be disheartened. Take the event as the event. So when the event is ending, we should be ready to make ourselves complete with our experience. We should not hang over. We should not hang over, and we should not fly away, leaving the event. No, both are wrong. Raga and dvesa Both are our enemies. So that is the psychological time means our own time designed by our psychological whims, my desires, my passions. I like this much. I like the event should happen in this way. Who are you? You have to attend the event. The event is not yours. It is a marriage ceremony. The people are there to organize the marriage ceremony. You are a guest. So you appear as a guest. Don't interfere. And don't be over involved. And don't be annoyed. Have this. I am telling this very practical. Even our family also, when we are becoming father-in-law, we should be very much careful that we should not interfere in the lives of our son and daughter. We should make them free, but people do not do that. They interfere in their lives and they destroy their lives because they do not know how to withdraw from their life of grahastha. Your grahastha is gone. Now they will leave their grahastha. So you remain an observer. You live a life of a sannyasa in the family, not going the outside jungle or Himalayas. That is the point, sir. This much. Don't be overexcited for any event. Then you will have your psychological time. All others will pass away. All others will go with the event with their right time. You will hang over with your psychological time. Nobody will wait for you. Nobody will be thankful for your hanging over your psychological time. That is called silent suffering according to Chinmayananda. It is silent suffering. You will suffer silently with your hanging attachment. I think you could understand.
Well, Dr. Das, then should we conclude like this, that psychological time is subjective and clock time is objective? Hmm. Yes. So,
So don't
thank you.
impose your subjectivity. This is
Right,
very
right.
bad. This is very bad. Don't impose your subjectivity over the lifestyle of your son, daughter and son-in-law. Don't impose subjectivity. You enjoy your subjectivity. Your subjectivity is your zero mind. You enjoy that. You don't impose your subjectivity over anybody's life. That is very bad. Nobody will listen to you. They will do their work. They will just maintain formality. Yes, 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 yes. But they will have no regards for you.
Thank you.
This I will
Thank you.
tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Das. Well, so from this response and also from the entire talk and the responses, one thing that I could get is life is nothing but a series of events, and we are into events coming out of it, but still carrying on the event. That's the problem that the psychological side of our life takes into. But if we look at an event, involve into an event, you are not saying involvement is bad, involvement is required. So when we are in an event, we need to be involved in that event, negating all other side effects of the other events that have preceded or the event that we think of coming in the future. So when we are in an event, we need to make the best use of the event, all negating, all bracketing, all other events for that very moment or for the exercise of that very event. Now, once the event has ended up, we need to end up and we need to elevate into the next event. It is only then we can exercise control over the psychological mind and we can stay in the present. And that is what the message that Bhagavad Gita gives also. Otherwise, if the event has ended, but still we go on with the event, it it will not put us in the present. Okay, and it will bring in all sort of negativities to hang on in our mind. So the very good thing that you have said, that be in the event, but soon the event is over. Be in the event. When we are in an event, we need to negate all other events coming into play. It is only then we can make the best use of that event in the given moment of time. And once the event is over, we have to withdraw from the event to make the best use in
Very
the
nice.
next event. It is only then we can put an end to the psychological time. This is, well, thank you.
Dr.
Yes.
Rao, Dr. Rao, Dr.
Yes,
Rao,
sir.
that was the problem with Arjuna. Family negotiation was over. Negotiation for not having war. Everything was over. So the emotion that disturbed Arjuna in the battlefield only because that Arjuna was suffering from his psychological time. Psychological time means to place yourself to place yourself wrongly in a wrong place. For example, the emotion that disturbed Arjuna, that emotion was not expected at that particular place. That emotion was not bad, but that part is over. But that is not over for Arjuna. Arjuna is hanging with the emotion of family members. Therefore, he is not ready to address the occasion of war. So that is the psychological time problem of a psychologist time. Okay, that is the.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Rudra Prasad Nayak, a student, maybe he has a question he has written in the chat box. Then we'll move to, so for a short while, to KC Patnaik, sir. He has raised his hand. Anyway, Rudra Prasad Nayak. Yes. Yes.
To
Rudra
every
Prasad.
philosophy lovers. I am Rudra Prasad Nayak, a plus 3 second year student. I have a question that does to be ready for the next step require bhakti in the agent? Is bhakti necessary to face the next moment, or it can be possible without bhakti?
No, it is not possible because your personality should be full phase. Your personality should be complete. You should have a Purnanga Vyaktitva, complete personality. So you should be groomed with the sense of a karma, the sense of a jnana, and the sense of bhakti. You see, all these three possibilities are to be in full force at the present moment. What happens, you see, at the present moment, you are living with a karma because a karma is with you, and at that present moment, you have also jnana that even this will pass away, even this will pass away. And you have also jnana that the next moment is unknown to me. I do not know the next moment. You have this jnana. If you do not have this jnana, you will flow in the flow of time and you will address the situation without any preparedness because you have been prepared according to your preparation, but you cannot meet the unexpected situation freshly because your mind has been preoccupied according to your programming. So artificial knowledge fails here. Artificial knowledge is programmed knowledge. So we cannot address the next moment with a programmed mind. That I am saying. So your mind should be zero so that it can be programmed and reprogrammed instantly according to the situation available to us. This knowledge you should have. And the third one is you should have a bhakti, you should have a sense of surrender that whatever may be the next moment, I shall take it as a divine gift because it is unknown to me. I am so ignorant, being highly educated. I do not have any access for the next moment. I do not know how my son will behave tomorrow. I do not know. So we should not have any expectation, but we have to live. So you should be ready, you should have a sadha, you should have a compromising mood to accept the situation, whatever it may be. That person can remain indifferent for name and fame, for insult and appreciation, for labha and kheti. So that is said in the Bhagavad Gita. So without bhakti, you cannot address the next moment, next event as the event. If you have the opposition of opposite of bhakti is asakti or passion. If you have a passion, then you will be disturbed in the next moment if it does not happen according to your will. If you have a bhakti, then your mind is zero, your heart is zero. Mind is zero, heart is also zero. to accept the next person, next moment, next event as it is. As it is. So there is a great saying that if you love anyone, then you accept that person as he is, as it is. Don't try to impose your subjectivity upon
Well, we have with us Dr. Rina Puradkar. I wish her she will speak few words. Dr. Puradkar. Anyway, sir, I'm returning back in a moment. Somebody is calling me. I'm back. In the meantime, please go.
Rina madam, you please
I'm
have
coming back
your
in a
Ah,
moment.
yes, sir. Hello. Hello.
madam.
Am I
Yes,
audible?
madam. Yes, you are audible, madam.
Ah, sir, it was a really wonderful talk. That every time, whenever I listen to you, it's like I can say that I learned so many things from you. When you spoke about the zero time and zero mind, I was just remembering the Heidegger speaks about it. That
Please unmute, madam. Yes, yes,
oh,
yes.
yes, sir. It's really you can say that whenever I listens to you, I learn so many things. And when I was listening to Zero Mind and Zero Time, I was just thinking about that what Heidegger speaks about it, and I was trying to compare the Heidegger and the state of the Arjuna, which is always in the perplex, and we are also. So this indicates that yes, we are living some or other way the inauthentic life by carrying on the burden maybe of the prarabdha, burden maybe of the right now whatever karmas we are doing it out. It's not a balanced state of mind. Always we think, as earlier you also stated and many other people spoke about it, that yes, we are carrying out unnecessary thing, and we are never into this present time. We are either on the past or in the future. So that burden goes on, and there is no zero state of mind, there is no meditative state of mind. And
Very nice.
meditative state of mind indicates that the sthita prajna state, and that sthita prajna state is required whenever we come across the conflicts may be a personal conflict, social conflict, or you can say that the conflict around the world or the universe. So if we have the zero state of mind, we can naturally overcome the conflict, and it is really required, I can say that. And your entire talk, I was just remembering that yes, there is a Arjuna and there is a Krishna, and Krishna is trying to convince Arjuna that whatever is needed, that is your karma, you have to do it. Why you are inflicting upon the uh, phala? You have to be phala tyaga, that is, you are a guna badhit person, you need to be gunatit. If you can overcome these three gunas, naturally you can have that zero state of mind. And this also Heidegger speaks about it when we have seen the authenticity of the life, and that authentic life somewhere we are missing it out. And I think if we follow this, we can overcome. So wonderful talk, I can say that wonderful talk. Always listen, I always want to listen to you for this reason, because it
It,
give a food for a thought, that we start thinking about it. Thank you, sir.
I shall appreciate you for one thing, because one beautiful point you raised here. That is why we should entertain interactive session. One thing you very beautifully said, that I have also missed. So missed. I could not say that, but I know that that point is not only the next moment is unpredictable, not only, but also our parabdha is unseen. That is a very beautiful point you made.
Yes, sir.
Why the next moment is unpredictable? Because I have also no knowledge about my parabdha. Parabdha means the total parabdha. I don't know. That means I am, as my karma has a result. Similarly, I am also getting the results of my past deeds, on unknown deeds. Okay, so that is also not seen. That is also not seen. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Now audible, sir.
I told that as the next moment is not predictable, it is. Hello, hello.
Audible, sir. Audible.
So
Audible.
did you get my point? What I said? I am saying that the next moment is not next moment is unpredictable. Similarly, we do not have the account of our parabdha because we are living our parabdhas which belong to a long past. So in spite of our best effort, things may go wrong because of the influence of the parabdha. In that sense also, we should be remain silent about the future prediction. We should accept the next moment as it comes to us, and we should be ready as a soldier with bhakti, jnana, and karma to address the next moment, because we have to live through our parabdha, which we do not know. So we are ignorant of our long parabdha, out of which I am a product, and I am also ignorant of the next moment. I am aware of somehow, even I am not totally aware of the present. I am also taking the present in the relative sense. But somehow I am aware of the present, and according to my best capacity, I am addressing the present. Similarly, therefore, everybody, all of us, we say, we shall try, I shall try my best. What is the meaning of that? I shall try my best, because I cannot give guarantee totally that I am not so overconfident that everything is under my control. But I shall try my best. Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
So wonderful. I can say that it's in one line. If I want to summarize it, it is what your talk is. It speaks about the two lines of Bhagavad Gita: Samatvam Yoga Uchyate and Yoga Karma Kaushalam. Then naturally there will be the state of mind will be there, and zero time will be there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You see, Dr. Das, I think it is similar to Tilak's concept of Jnana Bhakti Samanyata Karma Yoga. Because in that, actually, the past, present, and future action, course of actions are. And another point was coming to my mind, that when we are talking about time, whether Einstein's concept of relativity of time will be similar to the psychological time that we are talking about.
Einstein, whether he was worried about here Radhanath Behra sir is here, he is expert in
Yeah.
the area. But I shall say one thing, that Einstein was talking about relativity from the cosmological standpoint or ontological standpoint. From the event standpoint, I think so. I don't have any idea. Radhanath sir may reply this.
Hello.
Radhanath sir, you please respond to the question whether Einstein's relativity is connected with the psychological time or not.
So one thing can be easily spoken, that the empirical time, if it is added infinitely, will it produce eternity? Now, this question was raised to Einstein, and he said, what is the difference between time and eternity? He summarized in a beautiful sentence: I will take some time to explain eternity to you, but you will take eternity to understand time. So, time is so complicated. Time is so complicated, either it is psychological, empirical, present time, past time, and so on and so forth. It is very, very difficult even for a great mind like Einstein to explain correctly. And the second one is that looking around us, the illness of people suffering from mental diseases, when they go to psychiatrist or psychologist or any person who can give them some stability of mind, some equanimity of feeling, they immediately say, empty yourself, come out of your present thought and have a sort of zero mind, as Dr. Das explained. So, this zero mind, if it is empty, if it is not occupied with any thought, relevant or irrelevant, then I think the first step would be a cure for mental patients all over the world. Whether you like it either as a spiritual panacea or as a uh, psychological factor or a blessing, God or no God, it is simple that we live in empirical time, present time, and present time can be projected to the future. What you said about Prarabdha is all right, but then will they not make us dull, inert, and inefficient in our dealings? They will. But looking at the way the students of uh, philosophy, they certainly, obviously look at time in a different factor, and time is actually timeless. It is only timelessness that is the panacea for all our ills. So the best thing would be Niskama karma, prarabdha, they may be thought of, but still then we assert ourselves and we feel that we are the creator of our own destiny. But as long as you are capable of doing some systematic work, having enough confidence in your own mind, in your own bodily stature, I think you will move forward irrespective of whether you gain or lose. So, the best factor would be Einstein's view would be applicable because unless you work with or without any motive or without any goal, I think this would be uninteresting as a worker. So, better is disengage yourself the moment your work is over because as the work is over, its fruit begins to yield, is to grow. Therefore, it is very, very difficult to disengage ourselves at a short interlude or short interval. Now, it is the third century past of the great philosopher Immanuel Kant. He was explaining space and time. He said space is related to geometry and time is related to arithmetic. What is time? It is just an interlude or an interval between two events. What is space? Anything material that is filled, it gives you a space. So I think this again requires an elaboration of time, and I think it is not wise enough at the fag end of the beautiful lecture by Professor Das. So I think someday I think he has a mind to call me to deliver a talk on Einstein, the man as the scientist. So that way I may be uh, postponing it to a later time with the hope that it may clarify some of the nagging doubts. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Behera, sir. We had a beautiful session this evening and beautiful questions being raised and very beautiful responses. So overall, looking from the side of the lecture and the discussions that followed, I think this is one of the best lectures that we had uh, this year, and it was delivered by our admin, and very nicely he tried to see his point and various connections that it could establish, and various connections are still left which we can explore, Dr. Das can explore, even the connectivity with scientific world can be seen in different lights taking different standpoints to look into what Dr. Das has said. But anyway, it's a very beautiful message to all of us, and it is, I think, it has more of a practical side because it is much about the managing of the psychological time, which we all suffer in our daily lives. And once we manage the psychological time, nothing to worry, you are into the zero time. So that is the beautiful message that his lecture carried, and I should thank him for the pain that he might have taken to develop this presentation, because this doesn't come overnight. It has to be thought of in peace. It has to be thought on with calmness of mind, and he has done it, and that's why I think the lecture came out to be very interesting, very beautiful, and after a long time, we could also see a lot number of participants in comparison to the earlier weeks, and I thank the speaker, Dr. Das, for this, and I really enjoyed this lecture. So I also thank the question raisers, Dr. Ghosh, Dr. Puraskar, everybody, Sravani Madam, Radhana Sir, Joseph Sir, and all who, even Professor Srivastav and all, who raised the
Dr.
questions, and also the
Dr.
beautiful
Dr.
questions
Rao, Dr. Rao,
that Professor Das provided.
my last message, my last
Huh.
message.
Yes, yes.
One sentence I shall say:
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
don't die before you die. And this is what is happening in our lives today. We are honestly worried about future, which is a myth. As a Professor Behra said, the time is timeless, means time is a myth in a very higher sense. Okay, because the time has many types of interpretations. No time means we should be alive at the present. We are dying before our actual death, premature death. Psychologically, we are dying. So my talk is about stress management. How can we minimize our stress management? How can we live happily? How can we live peacefully? This much. With this, should we conclude here?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Now, I
Yes,
thank everybody, the speaker, Dr. Das, and I thank
yes,
everybody. Now, I request Dr. Das to declare the meeting closed.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
With
Namaskar,
with
everybody.
with with
Namaskar.
with this message, this session is declared to be closed. Thank you, all of you. Grateful to all of you. Grateful.